Hi there and welcome. It is less than 48 hours away from election night in the United States. I'm recording this from overseas in the UK, and in this video I'm going to try and tell you where we are at with this election, and I'm going to try and talk about a few things that are very certain and a lot of things that are very uncertain, and I will finish the video by giving my prediction of what I think will happen. So first of all, let's start with something that is certain. I think it is pretty certain that if Joe Biden had not pulled out of the race, then we'd be talking about Donald Trump really sailing to victory. It was very smart of the Democrats to remove Joe Biden when they did. In fact, they probably should have tried to remove him a long time ago. So Harris takes over late in the campaign. If you look at the polling, she takes a very clear lead over Trump. And the story since that point has been of a narrowing of the polling ever since. And that's why there's such a high degree of uncertainty about this election. As you know, in the US, the popular vote doesn't matter. It's reasonably likely, about 70% of the time, the polling is suggesting at the moment that Kamala Harris will win the popular vote. But even if she wins the popular vote, she can go on to lose the Electoral College, because in order to win the US election, you need 270 Electoral College votes to get you over the line. And if we imagine that Harris did that, it's not too unlikely that she will get exactly 270 Electoral College votes, which in my view would be a bit of a disaster actually, because that will be the kind of close election where you could imagine Donald Trump really trying to contest the result, potentially trying to sway individual members of the Electoral College to vote the other way. And that could be really dangerous for US democracy. But I just mentioned that in passing, that a close result would be constitutionally, it would send the United States into quite a difficult area, and I think we'd have a very contested situation for a number of months up until the Electoral College sits and confirms the verdict of the American people. Anyway, let's move on to thinking about who will win. Well, I think the way that I'm thinking about this is the polls could be wrong. All of the swing states are within the margin of error, and so any of them could go either way. But let's just try and come to some sort of conclusion about this. Well, what we can say is that Donald Trump is ahead by more than 1 percentage point in Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, whereas for Harris, she is ahead by 1 percentage point or more in only Michigan. So if we colour in the map, bearing that in mind, and assuming that those states will go to where the polling is saying they will go, then we're left with 3 states: Pennsylvania, which Trump is marginally ahead in, Wisconsin, which Harris is marginally ahead in, and Nevada, where it really is just even money. And all of them, the lead is less than 0.5%, so it's nothing really. Now, what I would say is that if we assume that this is correct, then Trump's passage to victory is marginally easier than Harris's, because Trump needs to win only one of Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, whereas Harris needs to win both of them in order to win. And for that reason, if we assume the polls are right, I would say Trump is marginally more likely to win, and so that is where my money would go at this point in the race. But I have got absolutely no idea, and neither does anybody else. This race is so close that really I think you need to throw the polls out of the window and sit back and watch what happens, because really nobody has got any clue what's going to happen. Marginally, I think it's more likely to be Trump, but if Harris can sweep the Rust Belt, it'll be Harris. What did you expect? It's a very close race. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do check out my other videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope I'm wrong. Marginally Trump. Let's see what happens. For now, goodbye and best wishes.